Uh, First of all, we want to confirm that what happened in Kapedo for the last 2 days was most unfortunate. But the situation as we speak now has calmed down. Of course, you know that the whole episode was precipitated by stock theft or perceived stock theft, because there were some animals that were stolen from the Pokoti community. That's what they say. But the Turkanas say they were their own animals which were coming back. They had been stolen previously and they were coming back home. But the bottom line is that there were some animals that left the Pokoti community and entered into the Turkana community, and those animals were shared out. So the Pokots actually followed up the stock up to our security camps, and the animals were not there because they had already been shared out, and some had already been stolen. That's what brought the standoff. Had they not done that, then we would not have any problem there, because for some time now the area has been quite calm. Of course, the idea of saying the government did not respond is neither here nor there, because Kapedo is 100% policed. We have our contingent of GSU, we have RDU there, and we have the military there. So the issue of not responding in time does not arise. But in every delicate security situation like that one, there are so many other issues that come into play. You don't just come out firing, randomly, so you can be seen to be responding. And there's one thing which I want to make very, very clear to the leadership of this region. We do not send our security officers in those areas for them to become partisan. Because they tend to believe that if you send officers to Turkana County, for instance, they're supposed to behave like Turkanas, such a way that if Turkanas cause a problem, they should not respond. So similar case with the Pokot, and even with Samburu. When you send GSU team in Samburu and the station there, it means that whenever Samburu have got issues, they shouldn't respond. Yeah, unasema hawa ni watu yetu. So if they're not acting in that manner, then it means they're not working. This is why you're seeing all this allegation that the police not respond, because the Pokots came, but the expectations of the Turkana community was that the police also were supposed to fight on their side. But we need to find out what really happened. And in the course of finding out, of course, there was some kind of delays, and of course, timbers got raised. And when these Pokots were actually retreating, of course, you all know by now, they killed one 75-year-old man and injured 2 people who are receiving treatment. But of course, we had our security officers spending the night there until yesterday morning. The situation was very good, very calm in the morning. In fact, that old man was being buried. But in the course of that burial again, some bandits came and began shooting also, and that's when they injured another person. So as we speak now, there are 3 people who are in hospital and who are actually receiving treatment. We've tried to deal with this menace as security agencies. You all know, and we've been responding quite appropriately, including plans to disarm, which you've tried to do, but because of political interference, we've not been able to carry them out fully. And there was a time when the leadership actually came on board, and they requested to bring them on board. And we had a meeting in Baringo. We had resolutions. We actually held a baraza. We had a 2 days meeting, then subsequently had a baraza in Kapedo. That place we had problems. And all the political leadership, governors, senators, members of parliament, MCS, in fact, even the governor for Nandi and Osingishu, they were in attendance. And we came out with a raft of resolutions. But even before the meeting ended, you could hear they were already quarreling there. The governor for West Pokot and the MP for Tiati. But the same day, they were quarreling because of supremacy battles, one calling the other names, the following the other ones responding. Yeah, the one MCA spent the whole night before the baraza mobilizing the people not to attend the meeting. The problem is local. They should not blame any other person. And we want our leaders to take responsibility also, so that we don't fight supremacist battles using our respective communities. I think time has come for them to play a lead role. Of course, as we speak now, we have got our officers on the ground. We began operations in Laikipia. That was last week. And work is proceeding well. We've actually removed all the bandits from Laikipia as we speak now. We are doing a bit of work now in Baringo. Currently, we are actually in that area called Silale, when we want to move to Kapedo eventually. But to sustain all these efforts, our local leaders must come on board. I don't want to engage in blame games with them. This problem has always been there. I found it there, and we're dealing with it the best way we can. But the objective voice and the nani-partisan engagement is completely lacking, and we think they should play a more proactive role, so that we have a more stable Kapedo. They know we have got issues of the boundary, which needs to be resolved once and for all. We have got issues of resources along that area, and the elephant in the room is that the area is quite expansive and it's not properly settled. We don't have settlements there, so bandits can come and settle anywhere there, cause mayhem, and they can always be hiding there. We don't have proper infrastructure, and they live like they're living on the one. Of course, currently the government, we've got a contract on site to do that Kapedo Lokori road. We want to have it motorable. We can have even PSC vehicles on that road. Currently, the people there depend so much on our government vehicles, security vehicles. For somebody to move from Kapedo to Marigat, they have to use our security vehicles. So we want to open up that area. Unfortunately, as we speak now, some 5 schools have temporarily closed, 1 secondary school and 4 primary schools. The children are at home. We want to ensure that they go back to school once we normalize that area properly and the tension has gone down, so that these 900 and about 43 students can go back to school, because schools have opened. Koswali. Now, assuming that we did not respond, and we have got over 60 armed bandits coming to a village, how many deaths will have happened yesterday? If we didn't respond, we were just there looking at people killing each other. How many people have died yesterday? We're talking about 1 death that happened when these bandits were retreating. So who protected those villages? Yeah. And as I've said, we have got our officers on the ground. You know, the idea of response means that, when the Pokots come, we must join the Turkanas and fight the Pokots. And the other way also, if the Pokots are in trouble, we have our officers on the Pokot side must join the Pokot and fight the Turkana. That's the meaning of not responding in time. So somebody comes, although they're armed, fine. That's also a lapse, because we should have actually, either disarmed them or arrested them. But the show on the ground also militates against some of these actions. But they wanted, when the Pokots come, we may start firing and arresting them without even asking them what they're looking for. And yet your people have stolen the animals. We cannot be partisan, and that one will not do. If you are a thief, you are a thief. There's no security officer who's going to fight on your side. You can go and talk and cry. We will not do it. We will not do it. And we are going to assess situations as they come. We are not going to be manipulated. Yeah? So you cannot be shouting loudest without even condemning your own people who went to carry out the stealing, because they're not stolen yesterday. We won't even be having this issue. But nobody's condemning that act of theft. No, they're just talking about the aftermath of the theft. But the root cause, who is talking about it? It's like just people woke up one day and they began fighting. That's not the situation. So, as security officer, we'll always assess what needs to be done. Don't just act emotionally, or we must assess things and act objectively. So we deny the strongest terms possible. Even for anybody to start imagining that we can be on the side of bandits is silly. Yeah. If you don't have anything to say, then don't say it.